Now, for example, right, I've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin with hair at one point, right? Then I also seen him without hair, and he started shaving his head bald, right? Right. Does that mean I know why he does that? No. Does that mean I think he's going bald? No, it means he might think that way. I don't know. The man personally, I'm not around him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? I don't even see him when he's on TV, right? Now, if I see him as shaving his head, I might could draw that conclusion if he used to have hair, right, that he might be dealing with male pattern baldness, but I don't know for sure, right? But do I go around saying, Steve's this hair, Steve's this hair, like a big bully? No, no. Not to do that to him even now, right? It's just an example. Now, does it make a man less of a man to have less hair on his head? No, no. Either. In fact, it means you're drawing more testosterone, right, but less blood to your hair. In fact, estrogen, right, has to do more with hair on the body than testosterone, right? In fact, the more testosterone you have, it might be reversed for you if you're a male, right? It might cause you to have less hair, and actually, it can hurt your sex drive, right? You have too much. Oh, no, now. Now, even the woman, though, has a little testosterone for her sex drive. But you don't need too much of it either. You gotta be what? Balanced to have enough that you need. Don't let these clubs that offer you testosterone make you think that's any better than not having it either. Right? Your body produces what it needs. Don't worry about them. Trust me. That's the first thing you need to realize, right? Now, what is happening is if something killed itself, right? Like take themselves and eating, he's the reason we die, idiot. You're looking for some outside source when the Bible tells you there was a tree called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It did something with us that brought us the knowledge of good and evil, right? And it taught us something we weren't supposed to do. Two things: to die with him and to condemn as him, right? And that's why you don't understand why you die, right? He taught you how to die with him by sinning with Adam and Eve, right? And whatever the reason, right? Some men want to still punish the woman for her part in the sin and make her give and bring forth children in vain when that is because Satan got pregnant too, right? And he was both genders, right? And you're making him and her more empathic with each other than with her and Jesus' female side. Who, though she cries as the woman in travail, she is glad that she had a child. Unlike, again, sinful Lilith, who is the daughter of Satan's female side. Right? You can call her, but Lelia. Because she's still two exes with Satan's ex-wife. In the body of the hermaphrodite. They have four chromosomes, right? X, 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 Y. Your female has X, X, and you have X, Y. Imagine it combined into one body. And then made two. It's all you got to do to understand Eden. I know it is. Right? But Peter, being he's a faithful Jew to Moses, and loves Moses more than Jesus, and thinks Moses and David's version of the Bible is right, right? Where David would strike you down just for looking at him funny and being against him. Right? When Jesus said, love even your enemies, right? Ain't that the opposite of what David said or would do, right? But the problem is, the enemy of David, right, used a woman named Bathsheba to get her into his bed, right? When her husband Uriah was out in the battle, because he knew David would take the bait. Funny that now. Funny that now. He knew David was accumulating women, right? And might be worried that he might be like the king Moses warned about, that the Lord said you would get, if you rejected him as being king over you. And even if David is that kind of king, who's really supposed to be your queen king anyway? The angel of the Lord from heaven, right? The true one, not the false one now. There's two. There's two cherubs in Eden, guarding the way of the tree of life. Now, one wants you dead if you don't live right. One wants to save you by grace through faith, not of works, these any man's growth, and you to forgive each other your trespasses. You again know who's who, right? Now, it don't mean there are not other cherubs. It don't mean there ain't other seraphs. It don't mean there ain't other thrones or other messenger angels, right, of God in heaven, right? These are the first two. And the second sun is the problem, not the first sun, right? The sun and the moon produced another sun and moon, right? And 12 stars, right, also have 12 wives and also reproduce, right, and produce offspring, right? And again, the spoiled brat one, though, is angry with his father and mother because he can't inherit the kingdom all to himself, right? See, another problem with you men is you want it all for yourself and your father and mother not. So you can inherit their property and their stuff when the kingdom is yours as well. You can use what you need to use, right, with the Lord. He's willing to give you the kingdom, right? But Satan is the one who wants to give it and take it away from you, right? Do you think, like the pastor I told you was at the Church of God in Garden City, that the Lord's the one who gives and take away, right? No. The Lord would then be mentally ill. It's Satan who giveth and taketh away, right? As if he's the Lord, right? God only blesses, right? Satan blesses and curses and had Moses to teach you that lie. But Moses is also teaching you how Satan sees things, not that you may do it, but that you may know not to do it, right? But you want to do it like Moses said not to do it, right? And you don't get why it seemeth right, the law, but the law is really your enemy. You can't follow it all. If you can't follow the whole law and you break it in one point, you're guilty of breaking it all, right? You got to follow the whole thing, too, right? I mean, you got to do every little thing it says you got to do, right? Not just what you pick and choose, right? But if you break it in one point, right, you're guilty of breaking all the law. You must keep it perfectly. You can't as a man or woman, right? You're just physically incapable of understanding it all, right? And some of it don't even make sense to you. But it has to do with Satan's own death, right? According to Ezekiel, he went down into the grave. Right? According to Ezekiel, the waters were stilled at his death, right? And there was a mourning for him, right? And again, are you hearing what Ezekiel's saying about the death of Satan, right? And the death of men who follow Satan, right? We mourn for them, for they're not getting a good reward with Satan being their guide, right? It had been better off that they were never born, like Jesus said. Some of them. Including the Apostle Peter, who seems to be on Jesus' side, but if you know the truth of what he's saying, he's mixing first century Judaism with Christianity to make it of none effect, right? And that's what he really did. That's what he really did. He taught you both Jewish orthodoxy and Christianity in the New Testament. That's why it confuses you, right? If I'm teaching you both religions because I don't understand either one, I'm not really helping you there. I'm only confusing you like I was confused. And to lie and repent of something is the whole problem. You think Adam thought it was a fruit tree he wasn't supposed to eat of, but actually it was sex with Satan in Eden. But someone's still allowing you to think it was a fruit tree. Oh, no. That someone is still Adam and Moses who told you the story. But listen to what it says in the story as the angel of the Lord, the tree of life, is talking of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You have become as one of us to know good and evil. Right? Who was the one of us who became as to know good and evil but Satan himself? If Satan was in Eden, the garden of God, you're denying it now. And he was in Eden, the garden of God, according to Ezekiel and Isaiah. Keep reading chapter 14. You're missing the whole book. Even he's talking how Satan went down into the grave and all that. Yes, he is. You just stop reading it, don't realize how deep it goes into him. Someone has to die first. Even if it's Satan trying to kill Jesus to get him out of the way. Why? Now, when did he start resting? As soon as the Sabbath day began, right? Now, if I'm right, what is 1,000 years from 390 years? 70. So 70 years in the seventh day, could be when the sin actually occurred. Why? Because God told him, in the day you eat thereof, you will surely die. And this is assuming that's at least 1,000 years, right? Even Peter pointed out Moses said that himself in Psalms 90, verse 4. So, it's at least 1,000 years to the equivalent of a day. At least. That you know of as a man, right? Now, what if it's 24 hours in a day and that's just an hour? You don't know. Well, we could still be in the seventh day, technically, and don't even know what day we're in, right? Because of time. Ooh, in time, you could have been so much more, like Boy George says. But the problem is, time keeps ticking away. Like, too much time on your hands, right? Like Stick says, right? Sung by Tommy Shaw. Not Dennis DeYoung. Right? Now, Dennis DeYoung wants you to come sail away, right? Come sail away with me, ye lads. Ye lads. If you didn't know what he's saying there, it's ye lads. As in lads and lassies, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then the little Bohemian Rhapsody kind of rounded out. Mm-hmm. I paid my dues time after time, done my sentence, but have committed no crime. Right. Exactly. You also go around thinking you're not doing nothing wrong when you really are, right? You're committing the worst crime of all, the crime of ignorance. You're not wanting to know you're wrong. Even if you're doing something wrong, right? Just because you can do it, just because you can do it, don't mean that ain't something wrong. And, you got too much time on your hands. Bored, bored. You're in the house, bored, 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 bored. You're in the house, bored, bored. Right, Tiger? Or Tiger? I get it. But at least I guess you got your video games and your VR and all that, huh? Let's escape this world. That ain't any better. That's escapism, right? You're trying to escape the planet and go to Mars and bring this madness there. Where the scientists simply deny God because they can't see it. Though look in your body when it's alive and look in it when it's dead. What's missing? That little light, that little spark in your brain and spark in your heart? Then what's God if you can see that? That's all God is to you, right? That's why you can't see it and live. in a way. It's in you, it's in you. It's a part of you what makes you tick. Tick tock, you don't stop. To the tick tock, you don't stop. Girl, I want to set you up. Yeah, that's right. All night, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Girl, I want to set you up. Yeah. And I'm into the ladies, and you having a problem with me for that, right? Because I had to be with more than one just to even try to preach your gap of homosexuality. I can't find one because you are obviously, sabotaging your own relationships. Now, if you got a cousin, right, and you go off with the stripper, right, you come back, and he goes off with the stripper with his friend, right, and leaves his girlfriend with you, what's he doing? See, the girlfriend don't care if I go off with the stripper. I'm not her boyfriend. But you go off with the stripper, you gonna piss your girlfriend off, right? Even if it's with the friend. Now, if she's trying to hump me, it's again the same reason the stripper did. She got confused about who she really wanted to be with, right? Or was supposed to be with. Maybe someone even paid her to be with the one she thought looked like his son. Right? I don't know, but like I said, she went off with me, not Jay, not Jay. First. And not saying Shay didn't have a car, not saying Shay didn't have a girlfriend there, not saying I know it was really happening. I know, and I don't. But some people, again, Shay, take it for granted, right? See, it's one thing for me to go off with the stripper and not show up for a while, but it's another thing for you and me not to even know if your girlfriend did anything or not, right? But then I come back and the stripper wakes me up, right? And we, in the evening or the following morning, was exchanging numbers and stuff like that and addresses, and that's all that happens in my mind, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to rat out the girlfriend either, you know what I mean? If she got that mad with Shay, I thought, me too. You just try not to say that. Because who's making the drama happen? Shake, shake. Okay.